Okay, so basically the argument is phrased in a sense where it's asking you, how do you justify things like logic?
Axing me.
Axing. You know what I'm saying. How do you
Asking?
justify things like logic and stuff, right?
Asking?
Yes, axing.
Asking.
Yes.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
Why do you think existence justifies knowledge? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Or
Well,
rather,
I don't
yeah.
even know what does that mean?
As in justify being able to rationally use things like logic, modus ponens, modus tollens.
Okay, but using them is not justification.
Yeah, I know, but justifying the usage of them. That's what I'm interested in, the justifying
That's
part.
not what justification means.
What do you mean?
That's
As
not
in,
what
again,
epistemic justification is not the use of the thing.
No, I'm not saying it's the use of the thing. Rather, I'm saying justifying the use of the thing. How do you provide a justification for using it?
Okay.
Right.
Saying
And
that you
this
exist is not, that doesn't get you that.
Well, let me get to the argument. Well, I'm basically trying to say that everybody is aware of their existence, right?
So?
You're aware of my existence. I'm not you're aware of my existence, but I know I'm aware of my existence, right?
Well, I don't know how you justify the universal claim everybody's aware of that.
I I'll get there. That's a universal claim about the external world, and that's why I'm making the separation here.
Well,
So
but I mean, but how do you know that that's the case? That's your first proposition, right?
I know I exist because even the fact that
No, that's not what you said. You said everybody knows that they exist.
No, that was a slip up. I didn't mean to say that. That's about the external world. Now,
have you had an epistemology class?
Can I get to doing the thing? Can I get to explain?
Have you had an epistemology class before you try to debate this?
Of course I have.
Okay.
Of course I have.
You have.
Now, can I go about explaining?
Well, hold on. Maybe you have,
all right.
But I'm a little suspicious that you have. Where did you take an epistemology class?
I just read books on it.
So you didn't take a class. So you lied.
Well, class, as in, did I learn epistemology? Yes.
No. You know what I mean.
Okay, look,
that's so you lied.
Okay, this is irrelevant to the thing.
No, it's not, because you're here to debate as if you know a topic, and it's a form of con artistry when you don't know a topic, and you lied and said that you took a class on this when you didn't. Why would you lie?
Look, I missaid it. I'm sorry.
Missetting is not what you did. You lied.
That's not a lie. That's not what.
Yeah, it is a lie. To say that you took the class when you didn't take a class is a lie.
So my position has been that as bad in many ways as, this modern hell state that we're moving towards is, one positive that's come out of it is that now a whole lot of learning and knowledge of other cultures has come about via, the work of all these prominent cultural anthropologists. And so we now, instead of being forced to think that everything that we're doing that's maladaptive and wrong is somehow destiny, we can see, no, actually, maybe this X thing doesn't work in our society, but hey, we have a model of another society that's frankly functioning better.
Okay, so what's the ideal society? What's the model society that you want to see?
A model society that I would want to see would be something that's structured more similarly to how pre-agricultural societies might have been. More of a hunter-gatherer, or perhaps horticulturalist and pastoralist societies that have not yet made the worst mistake in the history of the human race, aka the agricultural revolution.
Okay. So, but I mean, this sounds like a very super idealist position that has no impact on reality today.
Yeah, obviously I don't think we're going to suddenly go back to being hunter-gatherers, but we need to learn from the things that the hunter-gatherers are doing that are causing them to be objectively more adaptive societies that have lasted for thousands of years, while our society is going down the can after less than 300.
Yeah, well, okay, fair points. Did you have anything in relation to the topics listed today? Protestantism, Roman Catholicism, Islam, atheism?
Well, I don't really, again, like I said, I'm on a spiritual quest. I don't really feel like it's my place to chime in. Obviously, I'm against atheism. I think it's ridiculous, but I don't really have anything specific to theology to ask about.
Okay. And I'm giving you examples. Let me give you an example. Do you know what lectionaries are?
Yes.
What?
Okay. I am vaguely familiar with this, but I'm not.
You said
like
yes.
I said,
what are they?
okay, listen. I am vaguely familiar with this.
So what are they?
Hey, come on, let me talk, please. Just
so
let me talk.
What are they?
I cannot explain to you what they are.
Then you don't know.
I can't explain it.
Then why did you say yes when I asked you?
Because I'm vaguely familiar with what's going on.
Okay, then vaguely what is it? Then vaguely what is it?
I told you that I cannot explain this. I literally just said that.
But you said you did know vaguely what it was.
Yes, I've read about it.
Okay, so what did you read about it? What did you read about it?
I cannot explain this.
So I don't believe that you did. I don't believe that you do know about it.
I don't know much about it. I vaguely read about it.
Do you know at all about it?
Very little.
Okay, do you know enough to say what it is?
Very little. No, I don't know enough to say. I don't know enough to define
So
it.
why did you say, and this is what I'm getting at here, because there's a level of you're pretending to.
I'm a liar.
Okay.
I'm a liar because I haven't.
No,
I can't
it's because you said something that isn't true.
I'm a liar.
I mean, are you? You tell me.
True.
You said you know what it is and you don't.
I'm a liar.
You said you know what it is and you don't.
No, I didn't say I know what a lectionary is. I said I'm vaguely familiar with what a lectionary is.
Okay, now you're playing word games.
Well, you know that's what I said.
We're done.
So you keep claiming I'm playing word games.
Everybody is in the chat laughing at what you said because you said you knew what it was.
That's fine. They can laugh at me. I'm telling you, I don't know. I can't define it.
Goodbye. Nathan Colley, what's up? So again, you said you know what it is. You clearly don't know what it is. And the reason I brought it up is that if you're at all familiar with the formation of the canon of Scripture, historically, you would know what the lectionaries are. It's daily readings. Everybody in the chat is saying that you said you knew. And then you backtracked and said, no, I don't. So it's just like the last guy. Have you had a class on epistemology? Yes. What class? Well, not a class. I read books. That's not a class. Do you know what lectionaries are? Yes. What? I'm vaguely familiar. Stop asking me what it is. So, look, you got to be honest with yourself. Stop trying to front like you know what you're talking about. It's not me being mean by saying, well, wait a minute, your arguments are not lining up here. If you can't handle your position being questioned, then don't debate. Don't try to defend the Protestant position. And he started out by saying, well, I'm not here to debate. Okay, then don't debate. He proceeds to debate and then is mad that I'm debating with him.
Okay, so I disagree with that, but let me ask you another question. So,
well, hold on. Disagree with what?
I disagree that. So, from what I've understood, you believe that Jesus basically came so that the gospel would be spread all around the world, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So you disagree with that?
Yeah, I believe Jesus Christ came obviously for the remission of sins through his blood, but I believe he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, like he said.
Okay, but that's at one point in the Gospels, and you can't freeze it there because there's things that happen after that. Are you aware of the things that happen after he says that?
Can you say that again? I didn't really understand it.
So like most Protestants or evangelicals, you sort of freeze in the middle of a progression in the Gospels and in the book of Acts, and you take that phrase as if that's the only thing that matters because things happen after that, right? So initially, it is the case that Jesus came first to the Jews and the gospel was preached first to the Jews. However, a few chapters later, Jesus talks about how now that the Jews have rejected that message, this message will go out to the Gentiles who will now be made part of the covenant. Is that not the case? You don't think that, doesn't Paul say the Gentiles are being included now in the covenant?
Yeah, but the way I interpret Gentiles is basically the descendants of the Israelites that were deported. and then migrated to Europe.
I mean,
and
that's crazy stuff. I mean, it literally says in dozens of places in the Psalms, in Isaiah, in Jeremiah, that all of the nations would be brought into the covenant.
Yeah, but the thing is, what does nation mean? I mean, to me, the nations are the descendants of the 12 tribes.
It's all of the Gentile nations. You just made this up. Where did you get this from?
Get what?
What church do you belong to? What group?
I don't belong to any specific
Okay, so
church.
it's just a made up thing. Exactly.